First Contact Initiative. Admiral Victoria Nash stood at the quantum observation deck of the International Naval Station Artemis. Her weathered face illuminated by the holographic display showing the approaching alien fleet. 23 vessels, each larger than anything humanity had ever built, were decelerating towards the solar system's edge. Analysis complete, Admiral. Lieutenant Commander Revi Patel reported, his fingers dancing across the neural interface console. The alien fleet's energy signatures suggest they're using antimatter catalyzed fusion drives. Powerful, but he paused, allowing himself a slight smile, primitive compared to our quantum vacuum propulsion systems. Victoria nodded, her silver-streaked hair catching the light from Earth visible through the station's transparent aluminum windows. Humanity had learned long ago to keep their true technological capabilities hidden. While other civilizations broadcast their achievements across the cosmos, Earth had developed in silence, making quantum leaps in physics and engineering behind a carefully maintained veil of radio signals, suggesting they were barely reaching Mars. "Show me their weapons systems," she ordered, her voice carrying the authority of someone who had guided humanity's secret space force for over 2 decades. The holographic display shifted, revealing detailed scans of the alien vessel's armament. Energy-based weapons primarily, Reva explained. Plasma cannons, particle beams, and what appears to be some form of gravitational disruption technology. They're impressive, but they're following predictable technological paths. And their defensive capabilities. Multiple layers of energy shielding, but no quantum phase barriers or consciousness-linked defense grids. They're powerful, but Ravi hesitated, searching for the right words. But they're thinking in straight lines, Victoria finished. They've developed their technology vertically, building bigger and more powerful versions of the same basic principles. They never went sideways like we did. The Admiral's mind wandered to the INS Aegis, humanity's most advanced warship, currently hidden in a quantum pocket dimension near Jupiter. The vessel represented everything humanity had achieved by thinking differently: consciousness-linked quantum computers, dark energy weapons, and engines that didn't just bend space, but rewrote its fundamental laws. "Admiral," a new voice called out. Dr. Kira Yoshida, the station's chief xenolinguist, approached with a tablet displaying streams of decoded alien transmissions. "We've decrypted more of their communications. They call themselves the Meridians. They're not just passing through, they're here to evaluate us." Victoria's expression hardened. "Evaluate us for what?" "They believe it's their duty to guide younger species development. Kira swallowed hard. They've guided 12 other civilizations before us, ensuring they develop along what they consider proper technological paths." "And if we don't meet their standards?" Victoria asked, though she already knew the answer. "They reset them, using targeted stellar engineering to create controlled solar flares that destroy infrastructure while preserving population centers. They call it compassionate correction." The observation deck fell silent as the implications sank in. Victoria turned to face Earth again, its blue-white surface peaceful from this distance. Humanity had hidden their progress out of caution. Now that caution seemed prophetic. "How long until they reach scanning range?" she asked. 6 hours at their current velocity, Ravi reported. Victoria straightened her uniform, decision made. "Contact the Defense Council. It's time to implement Protocol Omega." The Omega Protocol. Kira's eyes widened. But that would mean revealing ourselves, Victoria confirmed. But not all at once. "We'll show them exactly what we want them to see." Lieutenant Commander Begin transforming the station. Make it look like we're using fusion technology, barely capable of maintaining this orbital position." "And the Aegis?" Rega asked. "Keep her hidden, but ready. If these Meridians think they can correct humanity's path, they're about to learn that some species don't need guidance, they need respect." As the station's crew rushed to implement her orders, Victoria watched the approaching alien fleet. The Meridians were about to discover that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in the power of their weapons or the advancement of their technology, but in their ability to think in ways that ancient civilizations had never imagined. The game of deception was about to begin, and humanity would either emerge as a recognized power in the galaxy or face an attempt at compassionate correction that would prove far more dangerous for the would-be correctors than the corrected. "Send word to all hidden facilities," Victoria commanded. "Tell them to prepare for possible conflict, but maintain camouflage protocols. If we have to fight, we'll do it our way, not with brute force, but with innovations they'll never see coming." The countdown to first contact had begun, and with it, the most dangerous game of hidden capabilities the galaxy had ever witnessed. The Deception Gambit. The transformation of International Naval Station Artemis was a masterpiece of technological deception. Gone were the quantum interfaces and consciousness-linked displays, replaced by deliberately crude holographic screens and visible control panels. Admiral Nash watched as her crew performed their carefully rehearsed roles, pretending to struggle with primitive fusion technology that was actually a facade for their quantum systems. Meridian fleet entering scanning range, Lieutenant Commander Purtle announced, his fingers deliberately fumbling with physical controls that were merely props. Their lead vessel is initiating contact. The main screen flickered to life, revealing the Meridians for the first time. They were towering crystalline beings that pulsed with internal light, their geometric forms suggesting both natural growth and artificial refinement. "Greetings, developing species," the translated voice resonated through the station's speakers. "I am First Observer Helios of the Meridian Evaluation Fleet. Your civilization has been selected for assessment and potential guidance." Victoria stepped forward, every movement calculated to project the image of a leader from a younger, less advanced species. "I am Admiral Victoria Nash of the Earth Defense Force. We welcome peaceful contact with your civilization." The crystalline being's light patterns shifted, suggesting what their xenologists believed was curiosity. "Your orbital habitat, it operates on fusion principles." "Yes," Victoria replied, letting a hint of pride enter her voice. "We achieved stable fusion 20 years ago. It's our greatest technological achievement." Behind her, Dr. Yoshida monitored the quantum-encrypted channels hidden beneath the station's apparent communications. The Meridian's scans were powerful but predictable, searching for energy signatures they understood, while completely missing the quantum-level technologies operating in parallel. "Most interesting," Helios responded. "Your development path follows expected patterns. However, the crystalline being's light dims slightly. We detect anomalous energy fluctuations in your solar system. Explain." Victoria's heart raced, but her expression remained calm. This was the moment they had prepared for. "We've been experimenting with solar observation posts," she explained. "Sometimes our containment fields fluctuate." Lieutenant Commander Puttle discreetly activated one of their prepared deceptions. On cue, a small explosion rocked one of the station's fusion reactors. Alarms blared, and crew members rushed to appear controlling the situation. "As you can see," Victoria gestured to the controlled chaos, "we're still mastering these technologies." The Meridian's light patterns suggested amusement. "Your species shows promise, but also concerning irregularities. We have observed your military installations. They suggest aggressive tendencies that must be adjusted. In the quantum-secured command center hidden behind false walls, Rave's real controls highlighted a subtle shift in the Meridian Fleet's formation. They were moving to surround Earth's orbital paths. Our military exists only for defense, Victoria assured them, while her neural links silently activated Protocol Omega's next phase. Throughout the solar system, humanity's most advanced installations were disguising themselves, using technology that operated on principles the Meridians couldn't detect. All species claim defensive purposes, Helios stated. Yet history shows that military capability leads to conflict. We have guided many civilizations past this dangerous phase of development. Your species will benefit from our wisdom. Victoria felt a chill as she recognized the patronizing tone. The Meridians weren't just evaluating them. They had already decided Earth needed correction. We would be honored to learn from your experience, she replied, playing her role perfectly. Perhaps you could share more about your guidance methods. As Helios launched into a lecture about proper technological development, Victoria's neural link received a priority alert. The Ionis Aegis, still hidden in its quantum pocket, had detected energy buildups in the Meridian Fleet consistent with weapon charging sequences. "Admiral," Dr. Yoshida whispered, her face pale. "I've decoded more of their secure transmissions. They're not just planning to guide us. They're preparing to demonstrate their power. They're targeting our lunar colonies." Victoria maintained her diplomatic smile while her mind raced. The Meridians were planning to show humanity their place in the cosmic hierarchy through a display of overwhelming force. They expected Earth to watch in awe as they demonstrated their superior technology. What they didn't expect was that humanity had prepared for exactly this scenario. First observer, Victoria interrupted Helios's monologue. "We would be grateful for a demonstration of your advanced technology. Perhaps we could arrange a suitable time and location." The crystalline being's light brightened with satisfaction. "We find your enthusiasm appropriate. Prepare your observation systems. In 6 hours, we will demonstrate the proper path of technological development." As the communication ended, Victoria's facade dropped. "Send word to the Aegis," she ordered through her neural link. "Tell them to prepare the quantum mirror defense grid. When the Meridians try to demonstrate their power, they're going to learn a lesson about assumptions." The next 6 hours would determine whether humanity's greatest deception would survive its greatest test. The Meridians thought they were dealing with a primitive species in need of guidance. They were about to discover that sometimes the student had already surpassed the teacher. They just hadn't shown their true capabilities yet. The game of deception was entering its most dangerous phase, and the fate of Earth's independent development hung in the balance. Breaking point. A tense silence filled the hidden quantum command center as Admiral Nash watched the Meridian Fleet move into position around Earth's moon. Their crystalline ships formed a precise geometric pattern, each vessel oriented to focus its energy toward the lunar surface. Energy buildup in Meridian vessels reaching critical levels. Lieutenant Commander Prittle reported, his real-time quantum analysis streaming directly to their consciousness-linked interfaces. They're planning something bigger than a simple demonstration. Dr. Yoshida's fingers flew across her decoded communications display. "Admiral, they're encrypted channels. They're not just targeting the lunar colonies. They're planning to trigger a localized tectonic event to demonstrate the consequences of defiance." Victoria's jaw tightened. The Meridians weren't just showing off. They were planning to deliberately destroy one of humanity's oldest off-world settlements. Status of the quantum mirror grid. Fully operational but undetectable. Reva confirmed. The Aegis has positioned quantum reflector satellites in dimensional pocket space around every major lunar installation. The Meridians won't see them until it's too late. First observer Helios's image appeared on their main screen, its crystalline form radiating smug confidence. Attention, developing species. You will now witness the importance of proper guidance. Your lunar facilities show concerning signs of unauthorized military development. We will now demonstrate the consequences of straying from the approved path. Victoria stepped forward, maintaining her facade of primitive concern. Please, first observer. Those colonies contain thousands of civilians. A necessary lesson, Helios interrupted. Fear not. Our precision will ensure minimal loss of life while achieving maximum educational impact. The Meridian ship's energy signatures spiked simultaneously. Streams of concentrated plasma, gravitational distortion beams, and particle weapons converged on the lunar surface, only to vanish instantly. Helios's light patterns flickered with confusion. What? Victoria allowed herself a small smile. Now, Commander Petal. The quantum mirror grid activated. Every weapon beam the Meridians had fired was instantly redirected back at their own fleet, amplified and refined by technology operating on principles they had never conceived. Their own energy weapons struck their shields, but not in the way they expected. Impossible. Helios's voice reverberated with genuine fear. Your species cannot possess such technology. Actually, Victoria replied, dropping all pretense of primitiveness, we possess far more than that. Lieutenant Commander, reveal the Aegis. The INS Aegis emerged from its quantum pocket dimension, its black hull seeming to absorb light itself. The ship was smaller than the Meridian vessels, but radiated a presence that made their crystalline fleet look obsolete. Your weapons, Victoria explained calmly, operate on principles we mastered centuries ago. While you were watching for radio signals and fusion reactions, we were developing technologies that operate on completely different laws of physics. The Meridian fleet attempted to reorient their weapons, but the quantum mirror grid had done more than reflect their attack. It had analyzed their entire weapons systems, feeding that data directly to the Aegis's combat eye. Your civilization's greatest weakness, Victoria continued, is your inability to conceive of development paths different from your own. You grew powerful by building bigger versions of the same technologies. We grew powerful by asking questions you never thought to ask. Helios's form pulsed with agitation. This defies all known development patterns. No species has ever hidden their true capabilities, Victoria finished. Developed in secret while presenting a primitive facade. Perhaps that's why we succeeded where others failed. We knew someone like you would come, claiming the right to guide us, to correct us. So we prepared. The Aegis's quantum weapons systems came online, not targeting the Meridian ships directly, but rather the space between them. Micro-singularities appeared throughout their formation, disrupting their carefully planned geometric pattern. This is your only warning, Victoria declared. Humanity will not be corrected. We will not be guided down your narrow path of development. Leave our solar system and tell your leadership that Earth is off-limits to your brand of guidance. The Meridian fleet's formation had completely collapsed, their ships struggling against gravitational forces they couldn't understand. Helios's image flickered as their communications systems struggled to compensate. You cannot be trusted with such power, the first observer stammered. The natural order. The natural order, Victoria interrupted, is not what you think it is. Evolution doesn't follow a single path. Innovation doesn't follow a preset pattern. True progress comes from thinking differently, not from following someone else's guidelines. She nodded to Ravi, who activated the Aegis's final demonstration, a field of quantum distortion spread between the Earth and the Meridian fleet, showcasing technology that operated on principles the ancient civilization had never even theorized. "You have 1 hour to leave our system," Victoria stated. "After that, we will demonstrate capabilities that will fundamentally change your understanding of what's possible. The choice is yours." As the Meridian fleet scrambled to regroup, Victoria turned to her crew. The game of deception was over, but an even more dangerous phase was about to begin. How would a stagnant, controlling civilization react to discovering that their assumptions about technological development were completely wrong? The next hour would determine whether humanity's revelation would lead to a new understanding in the galaxy, or if their hidden advancement had just sparked an interstellar conflict unlike any the Meridians had ever faced. Counter-strike. The hour deadline ticked away in tense silence as the Meridian fleet struggled to maintain formation against the quantum distortion field. Admiral Nash watched their movements through the Aegis's advanced sensor systems, noting how the crystalline ships attempted to compensate using increasingly desperate measures. 59 minutes until deadline, Lieutenant Commander Puttel announced. The Meridians are attempting to establish a subspace communication link with their home systems. Dr. Yoshida's consciousness-linked interface flared with urgent data. "Admiral, I'm detecting a massive data burst from their flagship. They're not just calling for instructions, they're calling for reinforcements." Victoria had expected this. The Meridians, faced with a challenge to their fundamental beliefs about technological progress, would naturally seek to overwhelm what they couldn't understand. "Show me their transmission range." A holographic display materialized, showing the quantum-level analysis of the Meridians' communication attempt. Their signal, while powerful, propagated through conventional subspace channels that humanity had transcended decades ago. "Initiate Protocol Omega final phase," Victoria commanded. Throughout the solar system, hidden quantum arrays activated, creating a cascading field of interdimensional interference. The Meridian's distress call dissipated harmlessly into subspace static. "You cannot silence us forever," Helios's voice crackled through their communications. The first observer's crystalline form had lost its earlier confidence, now flickering with what their xenologists interpreted as barely controlled panic. The Meridian Collective will not allow such dangerous advancement to continue unchecked. Victoria's response was calm but firm. "Check your sensors, first observer. While we've been talking, quantum field generators have surrounded your fleet. You're not just unable to call for help, you're unable to leave." The Meridian ship's energy signatures spiked as they attempted to engage their drive systems. But the quantum field had created a localized pocket of altered spacetime, trapping them more effectively than any conventional barrier. "This is impossible," Helios protested. "No civilization at your stage of development cooled." "That's precisely your problem," Victoria interrupted. "You're so convinced of your understanding of technological progress that you can't conceive of alternatives. While you were building bigger ships and more powerful energy weapons, we were rewriting the laws of physics themselves." The Aegis moved closer to the trapped Meridian fleet, its black hull rippling with quantum fluctuations. The ship's true capabilities had yet to be revealed, but its mere presence seemed to unnerve the crystalline beings. "Lieutenant Commander, activate the consciousness projection array," Victoria ordered. "Let's show them exactly what they've been trying to suppress." The space around the Meridian fleet lit up with holographic displays, but these were unlike anything the ancient civilization had encountered. These were direct neural projections, bypassing conventional sensory channels to interface directly with consciousness itself. The Meridians were forced to witness humanity's true history of advancement, not as external observers, but as participants in the experience. They saw how Earth had detected their first evaluation fleets centuries ago. They watched as humanity made the conscious decision to hide their progress, to develop technologies that operated on principles so foreign to conventional thinking that they would be invisible to ancient civilizations' assumptions. Your entire understanding of technological progress is linear, Victoria explained as the Meridians absorbed the overwhelming data. You believe civilizations must follow a specific path: fire, wheels, steam, electricity, fusion, spaceflight. But we proved that progress can branch in infinite directions. The neural projection showed them quantum computing that didn't just process information, but existed in multiple states simultaneously. They witnessed dark energy manipulation that didn't just bend space, but rewrote its fundamental properties. They saw consciousness transfer technologies that transformed the very concept of individual existence. Your civilization's longevity has become your greatest weakness, Victoria continued. You've spent so long perfecting what you know that you've forgotten how to discover what you don't know. The Aegis's quantum weapons systems came fully online, not as a threat, but as a demonstration. The ship began to modify local reality in ways that the Meridian sensors couldn't even detect, let alone understand. We're not going to destroy you, Victoria assured them. That would merely prove your assumptions about younger civilizations correct. Instead, we're going to teach you something your civilization has forgotten, the true meaning of progress. The quantum field around the Meridian fleet began to shift, not constraining them now, but rather showing them possibilities they had never imagined. It was both a demonstration and an offer, a chance for an ancient civilization to remember what it felt like to discover something truly new. The choice remains yours, Victoria stated. You can retreat and report your failure to contain us, leading to an inevitable conflict that neither of us wants. Or you can acknowledge that your understanding of civilization's progress needs to evolve, and we can explore these new frontiers together. As the Meridian fleet hung suspended in the quantum field, Victoria knew that the next few moments would determine not just humanity's future, but the future of technological progress throughout the galaxy. The age of hidden advancement was over, but the age of true innovation was just beginning. New dawn. The quantum field surrounding the Meridian fleet pulsed with possibility as first observer Helios's crystalline form shifted through patterns of light that humanity's technologists had never seen before. The ancient being was experiencing something its civilization had forgotten millennia ago: genuine uncertainty. Your demonstration is compelling, Helios finally transmitted, its harmonic voice carrying undertones of both fear and fascination. But our archives show 12 previous civilizations that developed too quickly. Each one brought destruction upon themselves. Our guidance prevents such catastrophes. Admiral Nash gestured, and the consciousness projection array shifted to show a new series of images, human history, not just of technological advancement, but of learning from failure. We understand your fear, Victoria replied. But look closer. Yes, we developed quantum mechanics before mastering fusion. We achieved consciousness transfer before perfecting conventional spaceflight. But each leap forward came with careful consideration of consequences. Lieutenant Commander Pretel's interfaces showed the Meridian fleet's energy signatures stabilizing, their panic subsiding into what appeared to be intense curiosity. Impossible, one of the other Meridian observers transmitted. No species can maintain ethical development while pursuing unrestricted technological advancement. Dr. Yoshida stepped forward, her consciousness-linked displays showing deeper analysis of meridian cultural patterns. "That's where you're wrong," she said. "Your civilization's mistake was assuming that technological progress and ethical development are separate paths. We discovered that they must evolve together." The Aegis's quantum systems projected a new set of data streams, showing how humanity had developed fail-safes and ethical constraints alongside each technological breakthrough. The Meridians watched in stunned silence as they saw how Earth had created consciousness backup systems before attempting risky experiments, how they had developed quantum containment fields before exploring dark energy manipulation. "Your approach to guidance," Victoria explained, "assumes that all civilizations must follow the same safe, predictable path. But that assumption itself creates vulnerability. When every civilization develops the same way, they all share the same weaknesses." The quantum field around the Meridian fleet subtly shifted, no longer restraining them, but rather offering them direct neural access to a carefully curated selection of human scientific databases. The crystalline beings' light patterns flickered rapidly as they processed information that challenged their most fundamental beliefs. "We offer you a choice," Victoria continued. "Not surrender, not submission, but genuine collaboration. Your civilization has perfected technologies we've barely explored. We've developed technologies you never imagined possible. Together, we could forge a new path." Helios's form pulsed with complex patterns as the ancient being grappled with concepts that challenged 50,000 years of certainty. "And if we refuse? If we determine your advancement too dangerous to allow?" Victoria's expression remained calm, but her voice carried steel. "Then you'll learn that humanity's greatest achievement isn't our technology. It's our ability to use it in ways you can't predict. We've prepared contingencies that operate on principles your civilization hasn't discovered yet. Don't force us to use them." The quantum sensors detected a surge of communication between the Meridian ships as the crystalline beings engaged in rapid debate. Finally, Helios's form stabilized into a pattern that their xenologists interpreted as resolution. "In 50,000 years of guiding younger species," the first observer declared, "we have never encountered one that so completely defied our understanding of progress. Your existence proves our assumptions were incomplete." Victoria allowed herself a small smile. "Then let's rewrite those assumptions together. Your civilization's experience, combined with our innovation, could transform the galaxy." The Meridian fleet's energy signatures shifted, their weapons systems powering down as their ships realigned into a non-threatening formation. "The Meridian Collective must be informed," Helios stated. "Our entire approach to guidance requires re-evaluation." "We'll help you compose that message," Victoria offered. "But first, let us show you something else, something that proves ethical advancement and technological innovation can coexist." She nodded to Lieutenant Commander Petal, who activated the Aegis's final systems. The space around them transformed as quantum fields, revealed humanity's greatest achievement. A harmonious blend of consciousness technology and ethical constraints, of unlimited power and unlimited responsibility. As the Meridians witnessed this demonstration, their light patterns synchronized in what appeared to be collective amazement. They were seeing not just new technology, but a new way of thinking about civilization itself. "Welcome," Victoria said softly, "to humanity's path, not a straight line of progress, but an endless fractal of possibility." The quantum fields pulsed one final time, sealing not a surrender or a victory, but the beginning of a partnership that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of what progress truly meant. The age of rigid guidance was ending. The age of infinite innovation had begun. In the space above Earth, ancient crystalline ships and advanced human vessels hung suspended in transformed space-time, a physical representation of two approaches to civilization finding a way to move forward together. The future would not be written by those who followed the known paths, but by those who dared to imagine new ones. The dawn of a new era had arrived, and it would be unlike anything either civilization had imagined possible.